Today's section is writing a door by Louis Lance. Like the link to the video will be in the description below. Go and check them out. So let's get into this section in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, did you finally get up?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I mean, it's 1:30. You're just now getting up?
I've been with... Why? Did you need me for something?
No.
Then what is it? Never mind.
What?
So, I just want to know, what was up with Joe this past week, huh?
What are you talking about?
Well,
I can't even see you.
after the first day after you left, I look out back in the afternoon and I see that Joe is just floating out in the pool.
What?
Yeah.
He was floating in the pool.
Yeah, I was right. I heard something, came outside, didn't come outside, I looked out the window and I
He
saw...
didn't get kicked out again, did he?
I asked him, he said he didn't. He seemed pretty earnest about it. I don't know, I'm a little skeptical about it, but he seemed... He wasn't like he was when he was kicked out, I'll say it that way.
Oh. I don't know. Maybe he... Well, last week was extremely hot. Maybe he just needed to cool off.
Well,
It
yeah,
could
but I
be.
mean, doesn't his...
There was his... Did he bring his kids?
No, funny you mentioned that. He did mention the one day that he planned on bringing them later in the week. I put the kibosh on that. You're welcome.
Yeah, okay.
Because I know the last thing you would have wanted while you're on vacation was Joe to bring his kids over here.
Yeah, well... I don't know what's up with that dude. You know, he just probably was hot, doing something outside. Knowing him, probably was mowing the lawn or something, and was all sweaty and like, oh, I'll go jump in Larry's pool and
Yeah,
wash myself
could be.
off and stick his sweaty balls in it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't need to
Okay.
have that mental image, but
Yeah,
regardless,
me either.
it's kind of a bit funny because that doesn't really add up with the story that I was told. That, you told him to come over and check up on me?
He said that?
Yes.
I did not tell him to come over and check up on you, Tom. Well, I don't know why he would say that.
I don't know if I believe you.
Maybe he just said it because that, you know, to give you an excuse of why he's using a pool.
Yeah.
It would be a convenient excuse. I
Yep.
will admit.
Look, and you know, another thing is like, almost all my plants were dead in the garden. You didn't check to see if they were watered? I mean, look at these things, Tom.
I don't see what that has to do with... We're talking about Joe here, not your garden.
What do you want to talk about, Tom? You told me, okay,
The fact that
in the pool.
the fact that he has said that you told him to check up on me.
I didn't tell him to come check up on you, Tom. I mean, it's Joe. Joe lies.
Okay, but there are some times where he doesn't lie. How do I know that this is or isn't one of them?
Tom, I'm telling you right now, I did not tell Joe to come check up on you, okay? But anyway, look, I want to show you these plants.
Oh, did you introduce the chickens to each other?
Huh? Oh yeah, Wyatt. They're all.
She
I
did.
got that all done too today. I was busy bee this morning.
Nice.
Yeah, they're all together now. So you know, when you take care of them next time, all you got to do is well, you got to check both food and both waters naturally, just like you did. And we'll see how they go with getting in the house on their own, because at the beginning they're not going to be.
Yeah, did they know to lay eggs in the new coop yet?
No, I already found one on the ground. I had to, because I shut this door up. I screwed it shut, and the other one I have the ramp off of it so they can't get out. So I found an egg right there in the opening.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm just going to let them plop out wherever until they get used to that. But anyway,
get
look
it.
at this thing. And I already trimmed some of this stuff off. But look at my cucumber plants in the back. They're almost all dead. That one in the corner I don't even think is going to come back. So what?
I don't think
You
so.
didn't check to see if they needed water?
You didn't tell me to check to see if they needed water. As far as I know, you had it set because you had the sprinkler, and I know the
Native
sprinkler was set
plants
to
look
automatic.
like- I don't know if they're going to make it. Everything, because it was so dry last week, and Mom asked me to put the sprinkler so it was all the way over here, so it would go all the way this way and this way. But I wasn't thinking about how hot it was going to get, and how then it's only putting half the water, because it was only going here doing this. Now when I was doing this for the same amount of time, half the water was going over there.
Okay, I mean,
So you could have checked them to see that they were dying.
I genuinely don't see how I was supposed to realize that when you never told me that you changed the sprinkler.
Well, it was bad enough you wouldn't weed it for me, and I had to weed it before I left.
I mean, the only thing that you had really told me that I had to watch out for was that some of the zucchini were almost ripe and ready to be picked. Got those
Yeah.
on like the second day out when everything still looked fine.
Yeah, and did you see the one I picked and I put it on the counter? It was like a club. It was like Fred Flintstone's club.
What was it, underneath the one that was like all
Feel
like half
listen,
folded
club.
over?
No, the
Really?
one all the way in the back with the big leaves.
Yeah.
Listen,
So of course I wasn't gonna see that one.
Yeah, well, they're not as good when they get that big. You got to pick them when they're smaller.
I really don't like zucchini that much. How am I supposed to know that?
I don't understand what the big deal is. I mean, like you did a good job with them, right?
Yeah, because I knew that there was like procedures and stuff I had to do. As far as I know, all I had to do with the garden was just take the zucchini off.
You couldn't take a look at it just to see how they if the
I thought that it was set to normal.
Tom, did the soil look really dry?
It looked drier than I thought maybe, but
Right. Well, you could have turned on the and that wouldn't even been hard. All you would have had to do is turn on the hose.
what if I didn't know if I was gonna be overwatering it. I thought you had it set to how it was supposed to be. How am I
Yeah.
supposed to know?
By looking at the plants and seeing that
By
they're all
looking at
wilted and
plants.
everything, and that the ground's real dry.
I thought it might have just been because it was dry and otherwise it was fine because it was still getting water in the morning. How am I supposed to know when you're like, oh, I changed the sprinkler? I don't know when you change the sprinkler.
Well, that was my fault, but I'm just saying you can't take a look at it. I mean, it was an extra dry and hot week. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I don't get why you couldn't just look at it and just say, yeah, I mean, literally, I have to tell you to do that.
With the garden, I didn't want to risk overwatering because I didn't know if maybe it was like just the top of the soil that was all dry.
Hey, Dad, listen, the plants are looking kind of dry. Should I turn the water on? Well, what do you mean dry? Take a picture of it. Is the soil dry? Put your finger down inside the soil. Oh, it is? Yeah, you
Yep.
know what? Give him another 45 minutes of watering. You got an excuse for that?
I guess not.
Yeah.
Look, we've gotten way off topic. The whole thing is that,
What
like,
off topic?
well, I guess now because of this whole garden thing, now you're like, oh, well, I guess I have a reason to send Joe to check up on you now. Huh.
I'm sitting in the shade. Do you mind that?
I guess I don't.
All right, so let me get this straight. So Joe came over and he's in the pool.
And he was in the pool.
What is
Yes.
the big deal about that?
Because I didn't know that he was going to be here at all.
Well,
He didn't send any text. You didn't tell me he was coming over to check up on me. This is all a surprise to
We're
me.
gonna get back to this.
Yeah,
Tom,
yep,
first of all,
get back to
I
that.
didn't know he was coming over, so how can I text you that he's coming over? That doesn't even make any sense.
Well, if you did know, then I would have expected you to text me. If you didn't, then okay, fine.
Tom,
You wouldn't have.
Tom, I'm not going to say this again. If I knew he was going to come over, I'd have told you. I'd have said, Joe's going
Yeah.
to come over and check up on you. I didn't know he was going to come over. So I mean, what's the big deal? So what? He was in the pool.
What's the
Were you?
big
Did you
deal?
want to go swimming that day?
Well, no, it was like later in the afternoon, but still, just the fact that like I hear a noise out back, I don't know what it is. I have
Well,
to go.
yeah. I mean, I agree with you. He
Exactly.
should have definitely.
A person who
Yeah.
it's just like, what the heck was that? That didn't sound like a deer running out back or something where like
Yeah.
or like the
No,
chicken's just
I
being
agree
loud.
with you. He should have texted you and said that, hey, you mind if I come over and use the pool? Because he doesn't know if you're using the pool or if you were having guys over and your friends or whatever and hanging out, having a party or
Yeah.
whatever. He didn't know. No, and by the way, how many people did you have over?
None.
Really?
Yeah. Why?
Really?
I'm just curious.
I'm just
Well, you sounded
curious.
awful accusatory. Like what? Did you
Yep.
find like a little piece of dirt or something on something that doesn't normally have
Well, I
it?
did find some trash in the house, but I mean,
I'm sure you did, because it wasn't from me.
Anyway, so you had nobody over.
I had nobody over last
So
week.
what's the big deal that Joe came over and went swimming then?
Because of the surprise of it. You wouldn't be like mad about somebody just showing up at your house and using your pool when you had no idea they were going to come over?
I'll tell you what, I'll say something to him when I see him next, and I'll say to him, you know, dude, why'd you go over? Why didn't you ask Tom if you go over there?
Right, it's not like he doesn't have
I'll
my phone
ask
number.
him. I'll say it. I mean, it's just like right now, you know, complaining to me. I don't know what I can do about it. You got your panties all in a twist and everything for what?
You said like you wouldn't be upset over the exact same situation.
I would be, but I mean, it's not
exactly.
You don't need to get this upset. I mean, he was in the pool. I mean, I don't know what the big deal is.
Well, just you're talking to him.
You know what? I got a question for you.
Oh no. That was that was wording Joe by low response. The link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. And drop a like if you like. And comment down below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new. And click the bell to be notified when I upload. In my